Well, I know this is not going to be monitor related, and I'm sorry I haven't had a lot of videos out here recently, but I've been busy kind of reclaiming the house and moving things around, doing a little bit of remodeling and things like that, getting new furniture and going through and finally fixing up the pinball row and arcade machines and getting stuff downstairs. It's been a kind of a really busy last month or so, but part of that has been a full refurb on this Back to the Future pinball machine. So I already did a complete redo on it about 6 years ago, but in the meantime it's kind of been on the arcade floor for 6 years, getting all dirty and messed up again. This time I tore it down completely, and I had all of the armor, the rails and the lockdown bar and coin door and legs and everything kind of powder coated to match the logo here, you know, where it goes orange, yellow, orange, or orange, yellow, orange, where it fades into each other. So I redid, or had all of the armor and everything done to match the logo there. So that turned out real nice. Side blade art, matching art for the speaker grill, and then just a deep dive, replacing all parts and full new plastics kit, new LEDs, custom, you know, docked by the clock tower, saying where's that kid, and the 1/32 scale DeLorean there, and add a time thing, and a bunch of stuff I've done, added here to myself. You know, like the little Z bracket standoffs there for the ramp. There was one the one back there was missing. Only one that was still present was the one back there, so I had to make one for back there for the support. I had to make that one for the support, and I had to put a couple of pieces of foam in there to hold that one up, so it puts less stress on, or that part of the ramp, hold it up to put less stress on the screw there. All kinds of stuff. It's basically a brand new Back to the Future and looks phenomenal. But the purpose of this video is these Data East machines, the flashers like to burn up. And the reason for that is, well, let me show you an example here. A couple examples. So, like for instance, you can see here, my nail's still red there. So I forgot to mention, the wire form ramp here had 18 broken welds. There were 18 broken welds all along here, and I had a buddy of mine weld it all back up. Then I had to go through and spray paint it all back, you know, normal. So it had red, fade into orange, fade into yellow. That's how it originally was. I had to spray paint that. Got a little bit on my hand here. Sorry about that. But let me show you here. So underneath the ramps here, you've got these inserts. There's a green, yellow, and a red. And there's 2 green, 2 yellow, 2 red on both sides. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see there, but you can see under there maybe that the insert's a little burned, and that's because originally when I had regular incandescent bulb flashers, they just burned up. You can see here that this is completely melted. The inside of here got so hot that it melted straight through straight through the plastic, completely disshaped and melted. That one completely disshaped and melted. This one completely disshaped and melted. This one. Those are the green ones underneath the ramp. Then you have something like this, where even these get so hot that the wood turns brown. Well, not really wood, but the particle board there, whatever it is, gets brown and deforms and falls away, and so that one stops working. Of course, these are all burned up. Then you have things like this, where these ones even get so hot that even these ones shift themselves over and melt. See if I can get a better example here. I got a really good example here that we'll see here shortly. But so see how this has come apart from itself. Let me turn the light off. Maybe that'll help. Well, nope. This one has come away and melted from itself. This one, the face completely fell off. I found it down inside the machine. And then last but not least, we've got this one. And you can see, turn the light back on, this one got so hot that it just, the thick white plastic melted like butter, and the face piece is completely gone. So yeah, there's a problem with these Data East machines where it burns up the flashers. Now why? Why does that happen? Now, it's not just Back to the Future. It's not exclusive to this one. Pretty much all these Data East machines suffer from the same problem. All of these ones that have this I forget what they call this. It's this board is Playfield Power Board, I think is what this is. PPB, Playfield Power Board. Anyway, so there's 32 volts coming into one side of this thing. And through the resistor and then a set of 4 flashers, it knocks it down to 12 volts. So you have 32 volts coming in, and then the output of here is also 32 volts. However, when you have 4 flashers on the circuit, it knocks it down through the resistance of the flashers to 12 volts because it's supposed to be incandescent bulbs. So the LEDs don't offer the same amount of resistance as the incandescent flasher bulbs do, so they don't quite run at 12 volts. That's problem number 1. So when you LED kit these machines, you run the risk of burning those flashers up pretty quick. The second part of this is that they run in parallel. There's four resistors. I keep saying resistors. There's 4 flashers off the output of this resistor. There's 4 flashers in parallel off the output of this resistor. There's 4 flashers off the output of this one in parallel. So every one of these resistors has 4 flashers connected to it in parallel. Now the reason that's a bad design is because when everything's working fine and fat, dumb, and happy, all of those flashers coming off any of these resistors in parallel are all getting 12 volts. But if one of those flashers should fail, because they're in parallel, the resistance value goes down. And when that one flasher fails, the system is now putting 18 volts to the remaining 3, which is not good. So inevitably, the next one in the circuit that's in parallel down the line, that one will fail. Now you only have 2. That jumps the voltage to about 24 volt output. And then, of course, that third one will quickly fail. Then it puts the full 32 volts to the output of the final flasher. And that's how you get something like this. So it's a bad design. So there's 4 flashers in parallel with each one of these resistors, and if one of them fails, it goes to 18 volts. Next one it fails goes to 24. Next one fails goes to 32, something like that. So you end up putting 32 volts to a lot of these. That's how you get the burned inserts and things like that. It's just a bad design. So I'm gonna, with all that preamble out of the way, what I'm trying to say is that there's a solution to this, and what it is you have to install a resistor on every single flasher. So that adds, the added bonus to that is that it also not only protects each flasher, but it lowers the intensity of the LEDs slightly so it's not as bright in your face. So I had to go through here, and every single flasher I had to install a 15 ohm 5 watt ceramic resistor on every single flasher. So you can see here that so you have the grounds are the red wires. You can see here red, 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 red. So those are all the grounds. So on the input wires are these purple wires here. I just cut the wire and spliced in a resistor. Now of course you could just take the wire off the terminal and solder the leg of the resistor directly to the terminal. I didn't want to do that for amperage purposes. I went ahead and just left the wires in there for a thicker connection. You can just solder, if you wanted to solder the leg directly to the lug, you could, but I didn't do that. Anyway, so I had to go through and put a 15 ohm 5 watt resistor on every single flasher, not just in the back box, but I did it under the playfield, and everywhere there was a flasher. Let's see if I can lift up the playfield, you'll see here. But, so yeah, every single stinking flasher, I had to put that resistor in there, and that will prevent them from ever burning up. So, in hindsight here, I probably should have already had this open. I did take the glass out. I did take the glass out just so you could not have the reflection when I was trying to show stuff here, but I gotta pop the balls out. Wait. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did. I'm not left-handed, so it's hard to find there it is. Okay. So yes, everywhere there is a flasher. So there's 6 flashers here, but they're in parallel, so I only had to put 3 in. So there's these 3 for the red, because there's 1 red, 1 green, and 1 blue. I'm sorry, one green, one red, and one yellow on these 3 over here, or these 6, and they're the other pair. So I say they're in parallel. So there's 2 green, 2 yellow, and 2 red, and they go over here to 2 more, 2 yellow, 2 green, 2 red. So there's 3 resistors over here. There's 3 resistors over here. And that takes care of the 6 for the circuit. Then, you know, like there's one here for the flasher up here for the ball lock release. There's, you know, resistors down here for these 2, resistors down here for these 2 flashers in there. And then there's 4 flashers on the back side here. There's 2 on the back side and 2 on the back side. I had to pull this back board off and pull it out and solder those resistors onto the wires for the 2 back here and the 2 back there. Back, you know, behind the DeLorean there and behind right there. So this was kind of a big hassle. You can see the 4 right there. So, you know, you don't have to do this, but if you have one of these Data East machines, even Star Trek, I did this exact same procedure over here on the Star Trek. If you have a Data East machine and you're constantly burning up flashers, this is why. So, you know, that's about the only solution that I was able to come up with here. And it was a suggestion by somebody, and I don't think it had ever been actually done or documented. It was just kind of an idea. And I implemented it here, and it appears to be not only a good solution, but it also kind of dampens the intensity of the LEDs, flashers, and makes it a little bit more tolerable to play it. So that's about it. I mean, hopefully that, you know, makes sense. You know, if you ever get one of these Data East machines, it doesn't have to be Back to the Future. You know, Star Trek, Jurassic Park, Batman Forever, whatever you want to, whatever you end up having. I would highly recommend putting those resistors on all those flashers, because that'll prevent your machine from burning those up. So anyway, yeah, let's get the back glass back in here. There we go. That was easy to do with one hand, I'll tell you that much. And let's fire it up just so you can check it out here.
Back to the Future.
So I'll turn this light off. There you go. So this topper is something that's available from Classic Playfield Reproductions, but it's not lit. I had to install a couple of spotlights here to kind of backlight it. Otherwise, you really can't even tell it's up there or really see it. But so I got that in there, and this back glass is new old stock that I was able to find and replace the original one that was all chipped up 6 years ago when I did the first rebuild on this thing. But yeah, it way too much stuff to talk about and go over, but basically it's a brand new Back to the Future. So and let's put these back in. All the cushions for all of the targets were completely missing, so I had to put new ones in there. I mean, I did everything to this thing. New drop targets, new drop target decals with Mylar in front of them, new drop target switches, the whole plastics kit. The entire ramp is brand new. You know, you name it, it's a brand new machine. go ahead and turn it off and then probably back on again, just so we can talk.
Back to the Future.
So there you go. And then of course the rest of the setup here is we got the Tattoo Assassins, and I don't normally have this light on here. There we go. We got the Tattoo Assassins and the refreshed Mortal Kombat down here. And then we got the Data East Star Trek and Star Trek Next Generation, CSI, Jaws Premium, Elvira Blood Red Kiss Edition. I was able to get the topper, so I got the topper on there. So of course BTTF is normally pushed back there, but so that's the current setup here, and what I got down here in the old basement. So yeah, also if you're familiar, you know, I think I posted pictures, or I don't know, those of you probably have stopped by at some point that were local here might know about the monitor hoard that I have. I don't think I was intending on showing it in the video here, but let me do this again. So I got a 350 scale model here that I put on top as a topper. I'm not really sure I want to keep it up there, because when you move the machine around, this thing is not very secure, but got toppers on the way for these three, something I came up with. But anyway, yeah, this is the whole setup now, but I think some of you already know about the hoard of monitors I used to have down here. It had just taken up the entire basement, was just nothing but monitors down here. And I was finally in a situation where I was able to source a solution, and that involves the other room here, and this is what we got now. So I've got no shortage of monitors and stuff. This is all stuff that I've acquired over the last 3 or 4 years or so, and has just, you know, I'm getting overrun. This whole bottom row, this is all 27s. The middle row is all 25s. The top row is all 19s, along with these three levels here, all 19s. And then all this stuff is these are the tubes I use for testing. There's a 4600 over there. Then there's a giant box of chassis here I haven't even got through. There's 3 boxes here of chassis. There's a giant tub of chassis there. A giant 2 boxes down there. 6 boxes here. A big box here full of chassis. Other tubes. All kinds of stuff here. Chassis galore, all over the place. So this is everything you see here is all 100% repaired, working, ready to drop in and turn on and run after some adjustments. Everything is good to go. Only thing that I need to actually work on and repair is the stuff in the containers and boxes here. So, but as you can see, there's not going to be any shortage of stuff for the channel here once I get around to finding time to start doing them again. I don't really even know what's in all these boxes, so it's going to be fun times ahead. But yeah, this is how everything is sorted now in here, and God help me if I got to pull that monitor out right there. God help me. So there's not really much else I could do. I mean, I don't have anywhere else to store all this stuff, so if you're ever in the Wichita, Kansas area, stop by and grab some of this stuff from me, because I don't need all this stuff. So otherwise, yeah, that's the situation here. But I wanted to show not just the Back to the Future and the solution with the flashers, but also the setup here. So I got somebody really chomping at the bit to try and sell me a really nice Twilight Zone, but I don't really want the Twilight Zone because I'm waiting for the Vault edition of Metallica. They're re-releasing, Stern is re-releasing a Vault edition of Metallica, where they're doing the Spike 2 setup with the LCD and everything. They're going to redo the code and redo custom stuff for the display, and they're going to make another Metallica Vault edition with the Spike 2 setup, and I'm waiting for that. That's what my money is set aside for. But otherwise, yeah, and well, who knows? The collection might grow. I got some room for other stuff over there, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I can move some of those, move those 2 over there and put another couple of pins there. Who knows? But but for now, this is how it is. And I wanted to show the Back to the Future solution, and actually the Data East solution for the resistors on the flashers to keep them from burning up, and kind of showcase the redo on the BTTF. But Anyway, so thanks for watching. I'll come back here shortly with some monitor related stuff because that's what this channel's about. I've just been busy trying to get all this stuff situated down here. So as you can imagine, it took a lot of effort to get all that stuff in that room like that. So that's what I've been busy with the last, I don't know, month or so, is that, and getting all this down here, because this stuff was in lots of other places just waiting to come down here. So, but anyway, so yeah, thanks again, and stay tuned, and we'll get back to the monitor content here shortly, and I appreciate it.